Season 59, War number 6. Today we've matched up against Noon, and the bands are Corvus, Mr. Sinister, Onslaught, Serpent, and Bastion. And my team today is going to be Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix, and Immortal Abomination. And Dark Phoenix I just took to rank 4 the day before this war, mainly because of the fights ahead of me. And yeah, I'm glad I was able to do that. I think she's going to be pretty helpful, especially this war, and then for the rest of the season, probably. So yeah, that's rank 4, number 10 for me, which is pretty cool. And we're going to start today on path 8 in section 1 against this Peni party here. Now, I did make a very fundamental mistake before even entering the fight, and that was activating attack and champion boosts. Because when fighting node 8, you generally want to only activate health boosts and then do the rest of your boosts after. I messed up there and forgot to not put on boosts, but it's okay. I decided to go in the fights anyway. I figured it'd be fine. She doesn't hit very hard on basics, and even if she does get the glance up, it's not that big a deal because Dark Phoenix doesn't really need to worry about the ability accuracy reduction from glance because your damage is coming from the Nova Flames. They're just happening. It's not from a is not tied to a hit. So anyway, I'll take a little bit of power burn damage and power burn and from the auto block and from her special one. Can drop the special ones into her block, no problem. And then the Nova Flames reduce her block proficiency, so it makes it really easy for me to get rid of the Sync Shield. And yeah, I'm kind of just like hitting in a block. I'm like, I really don't want to get her to the glance buff, but she's also almost dead, so it's like, does it really matter? And the Nova Flame's just going to finish her off right there. So yeah, nice first fight. And we're going to move on to the next fight against Wong here, bring another pretty unique champion, and that is Immortal Abomination. iBomb is here mainly for a mini coming later in the war, but this Wong is still a pretty good fight for him. So yeah, I like iBomb. He's pretty cool. Have him at rank 3. I pulled him like 4 times from the Heart of Fire event. It was really unlucky. He was by far my most pulled champion from that event. Unlucky. I'm glad I got him twice, but 4 times is a bit much. So anyway, iBomb, we just need to get to the special 2 to get our Toxic Aura activated. And then we're going to go ahead and spam special 1s. The special 1 spam's also going to place a Petrify on Wong, which is going to help deal with his power gain from his heavy charge. And then when he gets his blue spells up, I need to be very careful to try to not Dex if I can help it, because he's going to go unstoppable. And at least if I do Dex, then make sure that I pay attention. So I use the heavy attack to get rid of his energy damage that he would have done to me, and then the acid burn is going to finish Wong off here. And then when I do hits during the acid burn, I do extra burst of damage, but it is physical damage, I think, so Wong was reducing it a little bit with his orange spell, but it wasn't that bad. We killed him anyway, so. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and throw in an invul boost and take iBomb versus this America Chavez here on node 27. A bit of a scary placement just because she's getting a lot more power than usual, and also the prowess is pretty sketchy because of her special 2 mainly, because you kind of want to take it on block, but iBomb also has that weakness debuff that he places on the opponent when he blocks, which is super handy. It's like a 30% weakness, I think, which scales multiplicatively, not additive, so the more of them you apply, the less potent they are, but it's still pretty nice. I actually stand your ground parried her heavy attack so she didn't get a spell, which is really lucky. I tried dexing, but the game said I blocked, but it actually worked out better for me anyway that the game said I blocked, I guess. So that was pretty funny, but yeah, here I'm just going to go ahead and kill her with the acid burn damage, and then she goes down just like that. And we're going to move on to another Dark Phoenix fight, where we're going to fight node 36 Omega Sentinel. So Dark Phoenix is immune to Incinerate. We're not in any way protected from the bleed, but the reason Dark Phoenix is going to be really good for this fight and the next Hazard Shift fight we're doing is because of the fact that her heavy attack and her special 1 are both only 1 hit. So if you just use the heavy and the special 1, you're barely getting any debuffs on you because of how little hits you're actually landing. And that's kind of how we're going to use her for Hazard Shift, where I can like not really worry about playing too aggressively in the Hazard Shift phase that I'm not immune to. So yeah, it works out pretty well. I just need to not parry, ideally not eat a heavy attack either, but it's fine. Messed up a little bit. Do get the heavy attack there. Probably a little risky, shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Just keep dropping special ones. The power gains allow me to spam them, kind of. And then yeah, the Nova Flames are just taking her down. And I think we did this fight in like 19 hits or something, and a lot of that was the basic combos I did early on in the fight. Okay, here is the reason we have Dark Phoenix on the team, and like why I ranked Forwarder for this Red Skull here. I didn't know if this was going to work. When we were going over options for this, we don't have an Angela in the battle group, which would have been the play. And just, I don't know, I didn't find there a lot of great options in our BG in general. So it's just like, okay, well, maybe I'll try Dark Phoenix for this. I think it could go pretty well because of the whole one-hit heavy, one-hit special one thing. So we're just going to try to trigger Conflictor so we get him to throw specials more often, to where he's getting more armor ups for us to pulverize, and he's also giving us more openings to heavy counter him. And yeah, that's literally the strategy, is just heavy attack and special one the whole fight. And it's going beautifully, like, to be honest. Like, we are very healthy right now. He is slowly taking down with the Nova Flames, and this is kind of it. And even if I almost die, because of that Rite of the Phoenix passive that we have, we're going to regen all of the energy damage Red Skull takes and bring us almost all the way back to full health. So she's one of the safest war attackers because of that, because of just having almost 2 lives. Another reason that I wanted to use her for this fight, and for another fight coming later, is just, yeah, that safety with the immortality and stuff. And as you can see here, like, Red Skull is just about dead, and we're at 83% health without being immune or resistant to any of the Hazard Shift debuffs. And that is 45 Red Skull dead in 15 hits. Pretty crazy, if you ask me. So anyway, now we're gonna go fight Yelena on node 47 with Jean Grey. Jean can't miss when a Neuroshock is on the opponent, so that makes her pretty good for this node, because when the falters start coming into play, Jean's going to be able to ignore them. One thing I do need to make sure to take note of, though, is to make sure to have a Neuroshock up early when she goes into her elimination mode, and also once the elimination mode happens, and if I don't have a Neuroshock, I need to be very careful as to not try to hit her and stuff, because it's not going to land. So anyway, I'm going to use the Unstoppable from Fight or Flight to my advantage, and we're going to go for the special 2 there. And I do make a slight mistake here. I should have let the Neuros tick her down a little bit before hitting her, because if you make Yelena lose half of her health, like cross the 50% health threshold with a basic attack, or I think it's like during a basic combo, then you are going to give her 50 of her combo meter. So what I should have done is let the Neuros push her to the 50% health, and then she wouldn't have been getting 50 combo from that. So that would have made the fight go a lot faster and take away a little bit less of the risk at this point. So anyway, it's fine. Like, we're still at full health. Now we lost a little bit because of the block, but it's fine. I just need to keep managing the Fight or Flight Unstoppable well, and watch when the Furies expire. I want to intercept intentionally sometimes in this fight, just so she has less Furies, because yeah, those stack up and they become scary once they stack up, you know. So I do want to try my best to not let her have an abundance of them. So a couple of Neros fall off, and then I think, yeah, I dropped the special 2 into Fight or Flight Unstoppable. I just totally brain farted there, and then she crits me a couple times, but luckily I'm still okay. I do notice I don't have a Neuroshock on her, so I definitely don't try to hit her with the falter. And then it's just like, okay, a couple basic attacks later and she's gonna die. I can relic into the special 2 right there, and yeah, kind of a sloppy finish to the fight, but it all worked out. So Yelena goes down, and now we go fight this Bastion here on node 49 with Immortal Abomination. Now, Bastion is 100% resistant to poison damage, however, Acid Burn does not care. It is its own damage type, so just the fact that we can actually stack poisons on Bastion is all that matters. Because then the Acid Burn will activate and do the damage once we get the 10 poisons. Now he is going to get some regen from the poison, however, it's okay because Despair and Poison's own regen rate modification, and eventually the Petrifying we placing from special ones are all going to take care of some of that regen that he's going to get. Because when Bastion gets low on health, like, each regen is like almost 8% of his health, and I'm placing a lot of poisons, so that regen is going to stack up a lot if I can't actually manage the potency of it, but luckily iBomb is able to do that. So yeah, once the special 2 is dropped, we just spam the special 1s at this point, keep his regen rate low, and keep giving myself more poisons on me to keep my toxic aura active. And yeah, it's just like trying to finish the fight at this point because we're all set up. Just do it cleanly as well. I want to push Bastion to special 2 because I can dex that very easily. But the special 1, if he dropped it, I would just take it on the block because I don't want to receive the burst damage if I somehow messed it up. And yeah, it's a lot of hits, so I would probably mess up a dex at some point in the special, especially when I haven't practiced it. So yeah, we just go hit him in his heavy attack, and then go ahead and spam the special 1s, and he's almost dead, 4% health left, and then I kill him with my basic attack right there. So Bastion goes down, and then the last fight of the war for me is going to be this Future Ant-Man War Boss. Dark Phoenix is very good for Future Ant-Man. Pulverize on the heavy attack is the main reason why, because that just means that if Future Ant-Man starts getting an abundance of his armors, well, Pulverize is the easiest way to deal with it, because Armor Break means they become passive. Armor Shatter is very good here, so like Deathless Thanos would probably be pretty good for this boss, but I think Dark Phoenix's ability to not need to play aggressive is what makes her really good for this fight, because she can play at the pace that Future Ant-Man's AI lets me have, because at some point in this fight it's going to feel very slow, just because of how his AI is playing. So the fact that Dark Phoenix, again, can slow play as much as she needs to is what makes this fight really beautiful for her. Now I am getting some disintegrations on me, which in hindsight I would try to limit how many of them I do get, because they are reducing my combat power rate, which is annoying at some points. And Dark Phoenix is, she doesn't have any protection against her ability power rate, except for the fact that it can't go below 50, but I don't think Future Ant-Man can reduce it by 50 to begin with, so it doesn't really mean anything here. And yeah, I should probably just be dexing the special ones instead of getting the disintegrations on me, because yeah, it's just the combat power rate reduction is a little annoying is all. But I got the special 2 Fury up, and trying to spam my special 1s, it just feels a little slow, mainly because of the Energize. Like, I'm really trying to not push Future Ant-Man to special 2 as well, just in case I mess that up and stuff. Because, you know, messing up a Future Ant-Man dex, if he's got the power detonation on you, you are kind of dead. So, I wasn't going to let that happen. However, Dark Phoenix would have the immortality, so actually I probably wouldn't die. I'd just lose my first life, essentially. Which is also really, really good safety for this fight, as opposed to other attackers. So here, I'm trying to get to another special 2. It just, again, my combat power rate's lowered by a lot, so it's feeling pretty slow. I don't remember if his disintegrations are 10% or 15% potency. My mind thinks it's 15%, but I'm not exactly sure if that's true. Either way, it's slowing the fight down a lot. And I was trying to bait the special one. I'm like, dude, just freaking throw it. And I saw the detonations on me. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and drop the special 2 anyway. Push him to his special 2, because the disintegrations were all just going to start expiring, which they wouldn't do that much damage to me. But still, I just didn't want to deal with it. Probably didn't matter. In hindsight, maybe played a little bit slower. I'm just dropping special 1s in the air because I get the unstoppable anyway, and I just want those Nova Flames taking them down, try to kill them as fast as I can from this point, because we've been in the fight for a lot longer than I expected, They energized just being on Future Man, and me only beating special ones just made it take a long time, but goes down safe and clean, didn't even need the immortality, and that's my war. So GG's to Noon, they destroyed us. I mean, they're rank number 1, we kind of expected it, and had a higher death count than usual because of that. But yeah, we're still in top 10 right now, so I'm pretty proud of how my alliance is doing, and hopefully we can continue that success in the second half of the season. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. GG's again to Noon, and see you guys in the next war video.